All right, 1, 2, 5. Hey guys, it's Nate with another episode of the DaebakCast, and that was my English lyrics from Really Bad Boy, because they counted 1, 2, 5. Good job, Red Velvet. But yeah, so we're doing another episode of the DaebakCast. This is episode 99, and we are a podcast where mostly three of us usually talk about K-pop and Korean entertainment industry. And I'm joined by Andrew, who has three things.
Oh god, it always feels weird when it's not Jacob doing it. I don't know.
Yeah, it does.
Number one, Smash. Okay, I know it's insert Nintendo game here has taken over all of our lives, but literally, just Smash Ultimate has literally just taken over my life in the past 48 hours. I can't stop playing it. And
yeah, I've played maybe like 4 hours.
Oh, I've played nonstop. After I got it, I just played nonstop.
We had a new Destiny expansion, so I had to get raid ready.
That's why. Yeah, you're
raid
still
came out on Friday.
Yeah, you're still trying to do that, but oh man, it's fun. It's way more fun than I had in Smash 4, because Smash 4 was just super slow and super defensive, whereas Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is literally just all-out chaos, and you're going super fast. It's like Melee, basically. I'm still trying to figure out which main I'm going to do exactly, but right now I'm really liking Inkling. Oh, it's super fun. It's basically like better Fox from like Melee, or just that's how I feel. What's your main again? Robin?
Well, so Lucario was my main for a really long time, like all through Brawl and 4. And then near the end of 4, I picked up Robin a little bit and really liked her. So I've been playing.
Yes, female Robin.
Robin.
None of that
Pink Robin.
None of that male Robin shit.
But yeah, so I've been playing Robin a bit, and I really like her. So those are my two mains. I mean, I don't know if I'm ready to call Robin my like true main yet, but Lucario and Robin.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like Smash is definitely going to be one of the if we ever do like game nights or whatever, we're definitely going.
We'll definitely do one in like the Discord.
Oh man, so, Smash! Yeah, because Smash is just super fun, just to like mess around with, or just if you're like me, I want to compete and win and everything like that. So
yeah, we actually I played with some of my Destiny group yesterday, and the system's like really good for
like just like a lot of people.
Well, yeah, just like having like parties even online. Because there's just like an arena, and then you put your token in either the waiting to play area, the actual arena, which can have up to 4 people, or the stands just to spectate. And then the system automatically like kicks out. There's rules to kick out either like the bottom 2 or the bottom 1, and then the people waiting to play get to play. So like you can have like a ton of people on one room just like switching out who's playing, which is really cool for stuff like we can set up a Discord. Or set up a night in Discord and be like, hey, join this arena.
Yeah, we'll live stream it too, definitely. So if you're interested in that, you should check out our Discord, maybe.
Yep.
It's
mucho lit.
Yeah, it's mucho lit, and we mention it all the time. So number 2, before I get too belabored on Smash. So I was going into New York City yesterday it's Sunday right now. Yesterday was Saturday. To just play like Magic the Island or whatever. There was a set that came out recently. And I picked possibly the worst day to go to New York because there's a little thing going on called SantaCon. So for those that don't know, SantaCon is basically just it's like everyone just dressed up as Santa and does stuff. But it's basically an excuse for like a bunch of people from Long Island and New Jersey to come into New York and just get drunk as hell and just like cause all utter chaos. It's the worst holiday. It's the worst convention I've ever. I don't even go to SantaCon. Like it's just. Basically, you just run into people dressed up as Santa everywhere, and everyone's drunk, everyone's fighting each other, and just, like, angry and rude, and, I mean, like, I'll let you in on a little secret, like, all, like, the annoying, or, like, all the rude, annoying, like, New Yorker stereotypes, like, most people aren't like that. Most of the time, when you run into that, it's people that come from, like, New Jersey and Long Island and out of town that just don't know how to act like human beings, and it just gives New Yorkers a bad rap, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just super. I mean, I'm sure it's like decent like everywhere else. Honestly, it's just like everything, and like just there's just something about like people coming to New York and just like destroying the city basically. Like they were throwing people were like after the convention was done, they're like throwing their Santa outfits like in like on the like the corner like where the garbage is and everything. Like, oh, it's a mess. I really don't like SantaCon. I wish they'd stop having it.
Stupid.
Yeah, it is really stupid. And to close out our 3 things, I saw a little film called Mirai by Mamoru Hosoda. So he did anime movies like Summer Wars and Wolf Children and Boy and the Beast. So really good. It's basically, I don't really know how to explain it, but it's like this little kid that gets he gets a new baby sister called Mirai, and then there's like all these sort of like crazy fantastical things going on. Basically it's kind of like a Ghibli movie in a way. What I really liked about it is the soundtrack was done, or the opening and the ending song was done by Tatsuro Yamashita, who did he's basically the godfather of city pop, and he married Mireya Takeuchi, who did Plastic Love, aka that really popular random like song that pops up on YouTube suggested playlist. So it's a really cool movie, really cool soundtrack. And those are my 3 things.
Nice. Before we get to the topic, so I did my English lyrics. But yeah, we mentioned join our Discord, follow us on Twitter. Discord's got a really cool thing that we're doing with like a community playlist. So there's a channel dedicated for song suggestions, and then everyone votes on them. And if a song gets 5 or more votes, it gets put on our Spotify and Apple Music playlist, which you can get a link to in the Discord. And then also I got my SNSD light stick.
I'm still waiting on it, but
so it is sitting there behind me.
It looks incredible.
It only took 1,000,000 years to get an official light stick for SNSD, but it'll go up on the shelf with shiny and red velvet. And
hey, at least we'll get to use it when we see Tiffany early next year.
When I get to meet Tiffany.
She's going to be like, oh my god, how did you get that, internet?
I'm going to have an SNSD t-shirt on and an SNSD light stick.
Hell yeah, man.
And then I also got a fancy mic like Jacob and Andrew have. We all have different colors too, because Jacob's is white and yours is black and mine is blue. So yeah, updated audio quality. I've not set it up, but I'll have it set up for next episode.
Yep.
It's special for episode 100. I bought a brand new mic. That's not true. For episode 100. I bought it because it was $80 with a copy of Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
That you just gave away.
It was insanely good deal. Well, still $80. That's still like 30% off of this thing.
$80 for this
free game.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like I love the Yeti for I don't know. I've had it since early this year, basically. Just really cool mic, really good mic as well.
And I got a recognition thing from work, so I have $100 Amazon gift cards. I'll probably buy the fancy arm that Jacob has.
Hey, I should probably get that because this thing keeps falling now, so I should probably get an arm.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I'll probably get the because I don't trust it on this flimsy garbage.
Yeah, it's just like
this is so heavy.
Your fancy $100 thing just like falls off, and
yeah, it's like 3 times as heavy as this one. So
yeah,
I don't trust it as I knock over my water bottle. Yeah, so let's get into topic 1, which is going to be mostly Andrew talking about his trip to see Twiceland in theaters.
Just first off, like, it's crazy how basically they didn't announce this until earlier this week. Like,
yeah,
the first showings for Twiceland the movie. Okay, so it was put together by I don't know exactly what company put it together, but it's just like, so they decided to screen the Twice. Basically, Twiceland the movie is they filmed one of the concerts that they had during their Twiceland tour that was in Seoul, and they turned it into this movie experience sort of thing. I guess for people that couldn't.
I have it on Blu-ray somewhere.
Wait, seriously?
Downstairs.
The same film?
Well. This might be the encore. I don't know. Was this the encore one?
I have no idea, but...
Yeah, I don't know. Because there's Twiceland, the movie, and then there's Twiceland the Encore, which was just
the original Twiceland might be like the first concert that they did last year.
It was.
This is the one that they did like a couple months ago, basically.
Okay.
It's just super surreal.
This is the next one.
Because it's funny because I've seen all like the pictures, like fan taken photos from this concert for months on like Tumblr and everything else, and just surprising that I actually get to see it. So yeah, basically they didn't announce that they were selling tickets to this until maybe like Wednesday of the past week, and they're having it in very few theaters. Honestly, it was only like a handful. Basically theaters that had this technology. Like 8 that was Screen X, a bunch of others just like 3D or something like that, or like just like 2D theaters. Like the main focus of it was this technology called Screen X, where I'm showing the example video, courtesy or off of the All K-pop YouTube channel. There's a trailer that they made. Screen X is basically, it's like a regular movie theater, and you just have one projector up front, and then there's 2 projectors on each side, like facing or pointing a screen at either wall. So basically, it's kind of like it's basically like a triple monitor setup if you're like thinking of like a computer sort of thing. So it's pretty cool, but it's kind of, the only flaw is that the sidewalls, the sidewall projections are dimmer than the actual like main projection, so it's just kind of like funky that way. Also, sometimes it's not always like perfectly lined up, so there'd be like times where they try to make it like a triple monitor thing, and some of the members of Twice would be on different monitors, and like their heads would be misaligned, sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but I mean, it was still a cool experience. I'd say, just because I've never been to a theater like that before, and also they must have done or prepared this in advance. They wouldn't have just like randomly released this in like a Screen X theater, like out of the blue. So they must have like ties, like Screen X must have ties to like a Korean company or whatever, and then they're just like, okay, we'll do this for Twice, because like sometimes they'd be like a super wide shot that go across all 3 screens. Sometimes they'd have like other camera view, like different
cameras.
Yeah, so it's kind of like if you actually go to an actual concert where you see the actual like the actual people, like the artist, and then they have big screens on either side where you see like they're focusing on like a member or something like that. So it's kind of like it's trying to recreate that concert experience. So it was pretty cool in that sort of way.
Yeah, I've literally never heard of the technology.
Yeah, I've never heard of this technology before, and I'm really big into like cinema. Like I love like Dolby and like IMAX, that sort of thing, and like 70 millimeter like print, that sort of thing. But yeah, I've never heard of this technology until now. But as for the actual concert, wow, it was amazing. I mean, I don't want to spoil too much of it, obviously, because I feel like you should. The reason why we're putting this first before our reviews this week is I wanted. You can still go see this in theaters if you're in the United States. There's a list up on like Twitter or something like that of like theaters. I saw it in the Regal theaters in Union Square in New York City. So I saw it. I basically left work early just to see it because I didn't want it. It was either like 2:30 or 2:50 or 9:40 at night. So yeah, I'd rather I wouldn't want to stay till like 9:40. But there was a decent crowd.
How long was it?
Like a little under 2 hours. Actually, it's a pretty. It's not. I don't think it's the entire concert.
I was gonna say they had to have cut stuff then, because usually the concert DVDs are like 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, it's definitely not the entire concert, and obviously I think they did covers during that tour as well that they didn't show. But that being said, it was still awesome seeing the concert. The crowd, like most of what the shot was like, was you'd see like Twice performing in like the main screen, and then the side screens would just be like it's kind of like a panorama where you see the crowd, and there's just candy bongs everywhere. Like you could, it's so lit up. It was incredible. I don't want to spoil too much of the performances, but I'd say my favorite ones would be it's funny because my favorite performances are 2 songs that I didn't like, actually, when we reviewed it. So my favorite one was kind of like a small part of a remix, but when they did Signal, first they changed into these awesome sort of like suit style outfits sort of things, and it's just like a really different style for Twice, because most of their outfits are usually just like really girly stuff and just like they're super bright and everything, but this was like really like mature Twice. I'm just like, wow, this is the future maybe. They did an amazing like New Jack Swing remix of Signal, and I was just like blown. Like somebody else in the theater was like, "Holy shit!" Like they were audibly gasping and impressed when they heard it, because it completely changes the song. Because it's almost consensus for us, well, except for Jacob, because he's crazy. That we think like Signal is probably like one of the weakest Twice singles, but it completely changed my opinion on it from what I heard. And I don't know if there's a clip of it online somewhere or whatever, but
you could probably find fan cams.
Oh my god, like it was only a small part of it too, because afterwards they just went to the regular instrumental for single. Oh man, but I couldn't stop thinking about that. Like it came in like halfway through the movie, and the rest of the movie I just couldn't stop thinking about it. Another one of my favorite parts was because they performed the regular version of What Is Love. Just like obviously they're doing all the singles and everything, and then at the end when they're doing like all like when they're towards the end of the concert, they did like they did an acoustic version of What Is Love that was incredible. And I'm just like, or it kind of makes me, because it's kind of like a sidetrack sort of thing, but there's a thing. Have you heard of a thing called like punk goes acoustic, or like rock or metal goes whatever so basically there's a bunch of these compilation albums that where it's basically either like a punk artist or like a metal artist, they're doing either their song in a different like or in acoustic version. So like there's punk goes acoustic, so it's like a bunch of punk bands that do acoustic versions of their songs, or there's something called metal goes pop, so it's basically a bunch of like metal bands covering like popular like pop songs at the time, and then doing it in their style. So like they'd be like Umbrella by Rihanna and that sort of thing, done by I forget like which bands exactly. So it's cool stuff like that. I love an entire, or Justin Bieber does acoustic versions where he remakes his singles into acoustic versions, which is incredible. It'd be awesome to see Twice do like straight up just like do an acoustic album just of all of their singles. And I mean, again, they have the vocal. I'd say they have the vocal talent to make that something like that work. So and seeing that definitely convinced me that I'd want to see something like that too, because you don't really get that too. Or usually the acoustic version's kind of like it's either like a bonus track or like a CD exclusive sort of thing. They don't really make it like a full blown.
Or they just do it for like a live show or something.
Yeah, which sucks because again, like not everyone gets to hear these awesome acoustic versions, and you can tell that it's one of the rare cases they're actually singing because they're just standing there singing the song. They're not doing choreography or anything. But one of the cutest parts though is, or just Jihyo couldn't really sing that song just because she was crying way too much. Oh yeah, she was just bawling. And then there was another song that they sang afterwards that she just couldn't, or they just decided to do it a cappella without the instrumental, and the crowd was singing Jihyo's part because she couldn't sing and everything. So it was really cool. It was really cool. It just makes me like, all this does is really make me want to see Twice in concert again, straight up. Like, and my hope is that
we need Twiceland in America.
Yeah, my hope is that if they're putting this movie out in America, hopefully this is them trying to gauge interest. Oh, maybe we can have a Twiceland here in the U.S. And like, do you think that's likely at all, or?
Oh yeah, I think it'll happen within, if not 2019, then 2020.
Yeah, because it's a matter of time, honestly, because they came in 2017 for KCON. They've come for KCON like periodically and everything.
Yeah,
so
well, they came for LA this year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think at this point they're big enough they're one of the few girl groups that are big enough to have a concert on their own and sell it out easily. Just because like again, most people in the U.S. are just boy group stands for the most part, but of the few girl groups that they listen to, Twice is like 90% of the Twice and like Blackpink and Red Velvet are the few girl groups that sort of cross over that barrier most of the time. So I mean, what are your thoughts when you heard that they were doing or releasing this in the U.S. or did you see any footage of like the movie otherwise or no?
No, I mean I might have seen like fan cams here and there, but no, I wanted to go. I couldn't figure out if there were any near me. Really, it was kind of hard. It seemed like they listed like theaters, but they didn't really have locations. Or, I don't know, so the page I saw didn't really have locations, so I was like, I don't know. But I mean, I doubt there's any in Detroit, and I want to see it, but I'm not going to go to I'm not gonna go all the way to like Chicago to see a movie of Twice. I can just watch the Blu-ray of the first concert again.
Yeah, I'm sure this one's gonna end up on Blu-ray or like DVD.
Yeah, exactly. I'll probably buy it on Blu-ray. But yeah, I thought it was a cool idea. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens more. I mean, we had the BTS movie came out too this year, so that was a thing that happened. Was that a concert or like what was that? I have no idea what that was.
So Burn the Stage was basically it was a documentary that they released on YouTube Red that they just basically they cut it was originally like an episodic TV series that they put on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Whereas
they cut it into a movie.
Yeah, they cut it into like a full-length movie. I don't know if there's extra footage or not, but yeah, it's apparently that one made like that raked in cash. Basically,
of course it did.
It made millions or whatever. So it was actually that was pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say if they had more, if they gave them more of a heads up with this Twiceland concert.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it seemed really last minute, and I mean maybe it was a surprise or something like that. But yeah, it feels like if they had more like fanfare behind it, it would probably have done better. I mean, I'm sure they're not trying to make a bunch of money off of this. Honestly, I mean, probably doesn't cost them that much to just show it in the U.S. whatever. But yeah, I kind of wish they gave more of a heads up just so more people could see it. That being said, like it's still cool. It's still cool that because I think it's simultaneously premiering as the same time as in Korea. Because I'm seeing all these like Twiceland because they had a movie premiere for this in Korea and so yeah, I'm pretty sure like this debut or this hit theaters the same time that it was hitting in Korea. So that's very rarely does something like that happen. Like usually you'd have to wait or so. I mean, they're definitely thinking like JYP is definitely thinking of the American market in releasing this at the same time. Yeah, so that'd be my only complaint, honestly. So if you have an opportunity to go see it, there's it's running, I believe, until the end of next week, which would be I think it's running until the 14th of December. So yeah, just if you have a theater near you, definitely go see it. I mean, it's not going to be cheap. Like I had to pay like $22 for the for the movie ticket.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's like it's a premium sort of thing. It's like how they could charge you for IMAX or whatever, just because like the screens or whatever. But yeah, if you have a chance to go see it, definitely go see it because it's not going to be in theaters again, obviously, we're ever going to see the light of day when it comes to like the concert footage otherwise. So definitely, it was a great experience.
Were there a lot of people there?
I mean, it's 2:30 in the afternoon. There was a lot more people than I expected.
Yeah, it's true.
I'd say like the funniest thing is there's this like he was definitely Korean. There's this like older Korean gentleman there that he definitely was really into Twice. He was just like clapping and everything, and he's just dead ass like no fucks given whatsoever. He's just like recording and like taking pictures of the movie. And which, I mean, I don't blame him just because it's a weird experience like seeing like the 3 screens or whatever. So it's like hard to explain to people. Like what it is exactly, so I don't blame him. But yeah, it was pretty funny just to see him. Oh, and there were definitely a lot of Koreans there because there was a part that it was subtitled. Obviously, there was a part that that didn't or it didn't have subtitles, and like all the Korean people in the crowd laughed, and I'm just like, what are they laughing about?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's one of those situations. But there was a decent turnout of both like and. There was a surprising amount of girls too. It's like I think, but obviously, like you run the gamut when it comes to like K-pop fans. There's obviously some people that are very quiet, some people that are just like singing along obnoxiously, even though this is a movie theater and not a concert.
Yeah.
What can you do? So you obviously run the gamut, but yeah, there was a decent amount of people. I think the later 9:40 showing was probably more full, just because most K-pop fans have school at 2:30, so. I'm sure the weekend showings are way more full, but it was a decent turnout. So, yep, that's all I wanted to talk about with Twiceland. Go see it. Best movie of the year. No, I don't know. Best Twice concert I've seen, probably. I'd probably put it over even actually seeing them in person, just because it was really cool to see all these like B-side tracks that I normally wouldn't have seen just get performed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's move on to topic 2, which is Red Velvet's RBB album review. So since Jacob's not here, he gave us his scores, but he didn't give us his notes on the songs. So it's just me and Andrew.
Yeah.
But we'll throw a score in at the end. And we're starting off with RBB, which is Really Bad Boy, the title track for this Red Velvet release. So my initial impressions of the song is I really like the instrumentals, the verses, the bridge, the choreo, and the music video. But the chorus is like it passes into that too repetitive territory for me, and it's also like pretty empty. And so like it didn't really. I think it bothered me a little bit. I think the main problem was they made a mistake calling it Really Bad Boy.
You think?
I think they set, at least for me, this is all my personal take, but hearing that it was going to be a sequel to Bad Boy, I expected it to be similar to Bad Boy, and I expected it to be like as good as Bad Boy, and I don't think it delivered on either of those at all. So I think they just set my expectations way too high. Where if it was a different name, I wouldn't have had those expectations, and I probably would have liked the song more. That being said, it has grown on me, and like I said, I like almost everything about the song. The chorus just bugs me a little bit, but it has grown on me a little bit as well.
I didn't even know that they were actually really official about this is the sequel to Bad Boy and everything.
Well, I don't know if it is, but I mean, it's literally the song after Bad Boy, and it's called Really Bad Boy. So you're setting expectations there with that name.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't necessarily. I think even regardless of the title, I probably would have sort of had my gripes with it. Honestly, it's a song. Again, I think we have really high expectations for Red Velvet because I'd say just as a consensus that they're probably our favorite girl group just in terms of consistency and just how much we like their releases on the most part. There are parts of the song that are great, like really good. Again, it showcases their vocal talent, the level of production that they're able to attract and everything, but I think the cardinal sin of this song in particular is just there's parts of it that are great, but it doesn't come together as a song. Like there's parts of it I enjoy, but I don't enjoy listening to the song in its entirety because I think there's just some parts where it's so messy. Like they're like, okay, we gotta showcase Red Velvet's great at singing and like do all this vocalization and all this harmonies, except they're trying to do it all at the same time. So it's just like yeah, it's just like all at the same time. So it's very hard to focus in on one thing when there's just like a bunch of stuff going on in the instrumental, a bunch of like 5 different like vocalization craziness going on. That being said, like some of that's crazy. Like I think like Irene's the one hitting like those like almost like out of like human hearing range high notes or whatever, but
the screams,
it was just crazy.
Yeah, Irene did the screams.
Yeah, but again, it just kind of feel like this is supposed to be a song, not just like a vocal showcase or just like a range sort of thing. It's supposed to come together cohesively, otherwise it doesn't work as a song. And I'd say or to sum it up, it just kind of sounds like a more hastily half-assed version of Dum Dum. If you really think about it, like it's trying to go for the same vibe as Dum Dum, which kind of makes no sense considering they're trying to make it a sequel to Bad Boy. Like if anything, it's more akin to Dum Dum than it is to Bad Boy. But it just kind of sounds like they were trying to go for that, but they really just like the instrumentals are everywhere. As for the actual like music video, I mean it's all right. I mean I like the outfits and everything, but I think it just retreads too much of the territory that they covered with Peekaboo, just like stylistically. Like they're just trying to go for this creepy Red Velvet sort of thing, which kind of makes no sense because they're releasing this. They released it at like the end of November, early December. So I don't know. It just seems really uninspired to me, honestly. I feel like they can do better. Like just visually or just like in terms of concept wise with the music video and everything. Apparently like we've been talking about this to our Discord members, and a lot of them, they like it better as a live stage as opposed to just seeing the music video or just listening to the song. So I mean, I'd say maybe a bit better. At least you get to see more of the choreography, but even the choreography didn't blow me away necessarily. Yeah, just I don't know. I like I'm very like very rarely am I disappointed with Red Velvet songs, but yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of disappointed with this.
See, I wasn't disappointed. I liked almost all of it, but chorus just wasn't what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Jacob liked it a lot more than either of us.
Oh, so, he's saying like, oh, it's better than, I don't know. I forget. He really liked it. Definitely. I could tell, but yep.
Next we have Butterflies. And I thought this was cool. It was like a funkier version of a Velvet track. I really like the synths and the voice effects that they added. Like I thought it changed it up on top of like it just being a normal R&B Velvet style vocals. Also, the bridge is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bridge is. No, actually, no. The bridge isn't the best part of the song, just because I love the chorus so much, like the harmonization that they do with that. But yeah it's funny because I really hate "Really Bad Boy," but literally every other song on this album was almost perfect for me. It's just a weird like dichotomy in that sort of way, but. I love synth pop. I love Red Velvet synth pop in particular. So yeah, this is well executed. Definitely one of my favorites, possibly.
Mm-hmm. Next we have "So Good," and this is their more traditional Velvet R&B song. The thing that stood out to me was like the really low bass synth that's like backing their vocals. I thought that worked out really well for this song. But yeah, it's a Velvet track, like, you know what you're getting.
Produced by London Noise, which I didn't expect, or I didn't necessarily realize when I first listened to this. So, again, I've talked about how London Noise is very good at being like a chameleon in terms of they do a good job of tailoring their production style for each different group. Like London Noise doing music for Red Velvet isn't going to be the same as London Noise doing music for Amber or for NCT 127 or something like that. So that's a good job on their part. They do a very good job of fitting that Red Velvet R&B style, which I love. So again, this is another like home run for me, honestly. Just I feel like, again, I know Really Bad Boy was hitting these crazy high notes and like all this like insane stuff, but I felt like with both Butterflies and So Good, I could appreciate more of the vocals or the vocal range that Red Velvet has, just because it made sense in terms of the context of the song, whereas Really Bad Boy, it's just all over the place and just too distracting, if anything, whereas this it serves to enhance the instrumental in the song, whereas it just felt like the vocals were fighting too much with the instrumental in Really Bad Boy.
Yeah. Next is Sassy Me, and it has vocal fry. It has a lot of vocal fry, and I loved it. I don't know. It's like a traditional Red track, like album track, in terms of the chorus, but then the verses, are just this crazy like vocal fry, like literally sassy, like vocals going on.
You understand it, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. And then also there's sexy sax throughout the song. This is easily my favorite song.
Oh, not only is it my favorite song on the entire like mini, this should be the single. This should easily be the single. Easily. Like, I don't know why.
This would have been a great sequel to Bad Boy.
Why are they hiding this in the? That's a shame. Like, there's gonna be so many people that never hear this amazing song.
Yep.
And no, you know what makes me more excited? We might get to hear this song live.
Oh God, I hope we hear Sass.
Like, just imagine how incredible the choreography to this will be and everything. Oh. Like, this is what I think of when I think Red Velvet. I mean, granted, okay, I hate vocal fry. I don't know if I hate vocal fry. It really gets annoying. It's an acquired taste, definitely. I know that you're all over it, but it doesn't ruin the song for me necessarily, just because that chorus is incredible. And again, how much I feel like it harkens back to straight of the stuff that they were doing with the Red and that particular album. I'm just baffled as to why this wasn't the single, if anything, because again, it probably would have fit way better. And just Sassy Me would have, again, I felt like it would have made a more interesting concept, a more interesting single, more interesting choreography than what we got with Really Bad Boy. Just, this saved the album for me, essentially. Like, Sassy Me is easily, like, it definitely saved it for Cooper. He changed his Facebook name. He changed his name to Sassy Me again, as he always does. But yeah, this is probably one of the best. Like, it's probably one of the best Red Velvet songs of the year. Honestly, just I'd put this up there with Bad Boy, just in terms of how much I really enjoyed this. And it's just a shame that there's just so much wasted potential by not making this a single. Honestly.
I agree. Next we have Taste, and this has like such an awesome synth bass line. There's a ton of vocal stuff going on in the song, and I loved all of it. There's like a lot of back and forth, the harmonies, like the random ad libs, their effects on their voices. Like, I thought this came together really, really well. Not
just random ad libs, Wendy English ad libs, which are the best Red Velvet ad libs. This was produced by Penomeko and Dem Joints. So yeah, Penomeko is one of the artists. I forget what he's not under SM specifically. He's under one of the other sub labels, but it's awesome to see him. I think he did some stuff on the EXO album as well. So it's cool to see him doing a production for SM's proper label. And Dem Joints has done Something New by Taeyeon. He did 2 songs off of Anderson .Paak's Oxnard album, which is awesome. He's just like working all over the place. And he also did Cherry Bomb. So you could definitely feel the same sort of like, it's a funk inspired R&B type of track, which again works well with like Taeyeon, works well with definitely with Anderson .Paak. Just like his stuff is definitely just that same vibe. Definitely works with Red Velvet. So in that sort of way, I definitely could feel the influence of the producers on this, which is really cool. And now it just kind of makes me wish that, because again, Penomeko is associated with like Dean and Zico, and like I think he's a part of Fancy Child as well. It just makes me imagine Zico doing either collaboration with Red Velvet or producing a Red Velvet track. Just how amazing would the concept of that be, honestly?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just a great, just actual or closing track to it. Again, maybe it's just because we're more biased towards the R&B side, or I'd say in particular on my end, I'm more biased towards the Velvet side of Red Velvet as opposed to the Red. I mean, as much as I loved Sassy Me, obviously, I still like their R&B style tracks, but.
See, I'm the opposite. I love
you love the red stuff more than the Velvet.
So much more.
I don't know, just because one of these nights was one of my favorites. So
well, yeah, like their Velvet tracks are insane, but I just prefer bubbly, upbeat pop to R&B for the most part.
So yeah, I mean, this stuff is just always up my alley. So that's why it's probably like this. Probably breaks the least ground in comparison to like Butterflies and So Good, but it's still a really solid track.
Yeah. And then there's also an English Velvet of RBB that we forgot to mention. But for me, it felt like the lyrics didn't fit nearly as well as Bad Boy. It just didn't work as well for me, in my opinion.
Yeah, it seems more ham-fisted. I mean, granted, the only highlight of this is Sulgi Sis having such a good ass time. Like, I think she's been hanging out with Mark too much. Yeah, she's been hanging out with Mark way too much. Maybe I should look. Yep. I should look into the production credits. Maybe Mark wrote these lyrics. Yeah, but other than that, I don't have much to say on it. I mean, it doesn't make the song any better, honestly. Yeah, that'd be the only way it'd be notable. But they're probably gonna do this. They're probably gonna perform the English version of Bad Boy and the English version of Really Bad Boy for their Red Mare in the U.S. tour. So I guess we better get used to it. So yeah.
I mean, they might do both. They probably do both.
They have more than enough songs at this point that they don't have to do both. They don't need to. They have an extensive catalog at this point, so it would be kind of a waste. But I mean, at least we'll get to hear the English version of Bad Boy again, and we'll just have to tolerate the English version of Really Bad Boy. We won't get one without the other.
Yep. Okay, let's go to our scores. Jacob gave it a 10 out of 10. And me, like, despite the gripes I have with RBB, I also gave it a 10. I think every other song on this album is immaculate. And RBB I still liked a lot. It was just the chorus I had problems with. I loved the music video and the choreo. Like, I thought it was all great. So I gave it a 10 as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, you guys aren't going to ruin... I'm not going to ruin the score by giving it an 8. Yeah. It's kind of pointless at this point. But, yeah, again, despite my gripes with RBB, I still thought the rest of the album was okay. That's probably what saved it from being like a 7 out of 10 or just getting a 4 out of 6 for the music score. Concept, again, 2 out of 3. It wasn't abhorrent, but it didn't really break ground or anything. That's the thing I love about Red Velvet, is that they're always pushing their music in new directions, and I feel like I wanted more out of that, especially in terms of Really Bad Boy just being just safe in terms of choice of single. So, yeah, that's why I didn't give it a perfect concept score. I'm obviously going to give them a bias point because I love this group, but... yeah, I 8 out of 10, and that's me being a bit lenient, in all honesty, I guess. I could be more harsh on just how much I did not like, or just how much I got tired of Really Bad Boy. I don't know. We'll see where they go from here, honestly. I just hope that they I hope that they don't fall into the let's remake Bad Boy, because that was a good song sort of phase. I mean, I wouldn't even mind if they made like another... just like anything like crazy, or just like even another just another another power up, another just like rookie, like something that's maybe sort of like change it up, because it definitely feels like they're maybe building, as much as I like their R&B, they might be building too much of an over reliance on that to sort of I guess push the group. But I like to see them like, again, I love my SM groups experimental, so I want to see them get pushed in a new direction, especially for 2019. So 10, 8 makes it an average of a 10 still. Right? Or no?
No, it makes it a 9.
9. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. It's still good. It'll still get a shiny.
It still gets a shiny, yeah. Yep. Okay. Let's move on to topic 3, which is our other review for the week. And this is Mamamoo's Blues album. Which is Solar's focused album. And we were supposed to get 4 albums this year.
Yeah, we only have 3.
We only got the 3. So
what happened to that?
What happened to the fall one? I have no idea.
Yeah, because hold on. Okay, so the first one was
spring.
Was Fossa.
Yeah, that was spring.
The second one was a Wien focused album. I forget.
No, it was Moonbyul.
Moonbyul focused album. Well, I mean, Moonbyul just stole the show regardless. So yeah, that's
that was summer.
Yeah,
and then we did not get one in the fall, and this is very clearly a winter.
Yeah, it's a lot more chill.
Maybe not. Maybe
I don't know.
Supposed to be fall. Who knows?
I really don't know. Their scheduling must have gotten like messed up or whatever. They couldn't get They probably have all the songs ready. They just wanted to space it out more than just releasing.
The Red Moon was Moonbyul because I had the Moonbyul Sulgi song.
I know, just like the concept of releasing 4 mini albums in a year is just ridiculous. I know, like Stray Kids is knocking on the door of that, because I mean, if you cut mixtape and then like their trilogy of like the Who or like whatever sort of trilogy, like that's 4, but mixtape is mostly songs that they did in 2017, so that's not too crazy. But this would have been original song or 4 original mini albums, which would have been, that's a lot of work for even one group, even as a group like as popular as Mamamoo. So maybe it's a good idea to sort of spread them out more.
Yep. Although Wien didn't get her shine.
She'll get one.
She
deserves it. She still had a good solo debut, remember?
I mean, technically it's still fall, so if Wien puts one out in January, it'll be March, or it'll be winter still. So I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, so it starts out with an intro, which has a Korean name, but I didn't write it all down, and I don't know what it is. But yeah, this is acoustic guitar instrumentals. It's really similar to Starry Night, actually. And then the vocals are Mamamoo vocals. They're fantastic.
Like, in terms of like the actual intro, like I wouldn't have minded it, but the fact that it's basically just the lyrics to Windflower but just an acoustic version.
Is it really? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's literally they're doing the lyrics to Windflower, but just over an acoustic guitar, which in a vacuum is nice, but it kind of doesn't make sense in a 6-album mini or a 6-track mini album.
One's an intro.
When Windflower comes 2 tracks later.
Yeah, 2 tracks later, exactly.
Yeah, it's just really weird.
To Windflower.
Yeah, it's just, I'd say my gripe with it is mostly the placement, just because I love, again, I'm a huge fan of acoustic versions of songs, so yeah, on that front it was cool. It's just like the placement of it, it's one of those weird, I'm pulling a Jacob where it's just like the placement of it is just super weird, just in juxtaposition of where the actual main title track is. So I don't know. Either it could be, maybe they could make it like an outro track and that'd be awesome, but yeah, just putting it up here just makes no sense to me.
Yeah, the Korean title translates to from autumn to winter. So,
but they didn't do an autumn.
They didn't do an autumn exactly. So,
why?
Poor Vian, who is my new bias. So now I'm even more sad. Okay, we'll move on to the first actual track, which is No More Drama. And I love how intense the song starts when the vocals show up. And I really like the contrasting parts of the song with and without percussion, because it like completely changes the intensity of the song. The percussion parts and like the beat are fantastic.
I really wanted to like this song, but I don't know. Couldn't it's just no. I think my main gripe with maybe just the entire mini album, just in general, is just I felt like Mamamoo was really pushing themselves into a new style or just like a new direction. Especially when you're looking at stuff like Starry Night and Egotistic, like just really different directions. Just between Mamamoo singles, solo debuts and singles and everything, and just this is just. I don't know. It kind of felt like they did this already. In all honesty, yeah. I could feel it. I feel like this could have been I could sort of pick out the same sort of style of song that they've done before, and it just kind of feels out of place in that sort of sense.
I mean, to be honest, I kind of felt that way about most of this album.
Yeah,
but
we'll get there.
Yeah. Next we have Windflower, which is the title track. That kind of is similar. Like that comment leads into this well for me. Like I thought this was good, but it's like a pretty basic song. Obviously Mamamoo are like great singers, and this is like their style. But for this song, it didn't really do anything special to blow me away.
Yeah.
And the music video is very generic.
Yeah, the music video, they're just walking around.
They're just walking around Hong Kong.
Oh, they're in Hong Kong, okay.
Well, it looked like Hong Kong to me. I wasn't fully paying attention. But
okay, that's probably Hong Kong, because the picture you have has like Chinese characters, I think, on it.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't surprise
me.
But
yeah, it's just like super, super basic, and the song kind of felt the same way.
Like, I wouldn't have minded the basic MV if they... Like, why is this only... As far as I know, this is only getting 1 MV, whereas, like, literally, the first mini that they released this year had, like, 4 music videos and everything. Like, they went super... That's probably... They probably blew the budget on the Hwasa EP, which is why they can't really do anything.
Yeah, with the crazy...
Like just like Hwasa Solo got a music video, like just like the intro track got a music video, Starry Night got a music video, just like everything got a music video basically. Whereas this is they're definitely phoning in it at this point. That being said, I don't hate this song. Again, maybe in a vacuum, it'd be a great Mamamoo single. That being said, it's just when you're putting out like Paint Me and Starry Night and Egotistic, it just kind of pales in comparison to just how much I love those songs. Because again, I love Mamamoo is easily, in terms of vocals, they're the best girl group out there, like, or best group out there. Period. Honestly, I'd put them above like even boy groups. But yeah, I don't know. It just, again, maybe it's just we have our expectations so high that something like this just doesn't cut it anymore. Yeah, that could probably be it. Honestly, just because again. Even if you don't like the instrumental or just like the style of song, when it comes to Mamamoo, you're always going to like the vocals. And that being said, I do like the vocals on this, especially during the chorus, but just Windflower. It's not really sort of pushing their limits necessarily, or just pushing it in any interesting direction. And I get I guess maybe it's like a winter track. They're trying to be more chill and everything, but I don't know. Windflower just doesn't feel like a single to me. It doesn't feel like a single. It would be it's like an interesting, like maybe like side, like or an album track or whatever. But I don't know if you can lead with this necessarily.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I felt.
And I mean, we're not the only ones. I mean, I know Umu, probably the biggest fan of Mamamoo out there. She did a reaction recently, and yeah, she had sort of the same sort of I guess just maybe not necessarily disappointment, but she's just expecting a lot she expects a lot out of her favorite groups, and it wasn't cutting it, and she definitely got backlash for it, as she did with I don't think she liked the Egotistic as well, so she kind of got shit in the comments for it. But that makes it I don't get us wrong, we love Mamamoo, we love this group. This group is literally the reason why truly Daebak exists. Like that's not an understatement. Like that photo. A photo of Mamamoo is literally what brought myself, Nate, and Jacob all together. So, it's not us just trying to throw shade or just hating Mamamoo. It's just again we tend, I especially on my part, I have high expectations for groups I love. So yeah, this wasn't cutting it.
Next we have Hello, which is Solar's solo song. And this reminds me of like a Taeyeon solo song. Obviously Solar can pull that type of song off just as well as Tae. I think this is easily my favorite song. It was, I don't know if I want to say it's something new, but it definitely stood out the most in my opinion on this album.
It's another one I wanted to really like, and maybe it's just my fault for, I don't know, just because when it comes to like the solo songs, I'm just putting it or pairing it amongst that. The other members doing their solo songs, I just felt like they were more experimental and creative in that front, and this just feels like, okay, Solar definitely, she does a lot of OSTs, she does like this style of song a lot, so I just kind of wish that, okay, we're trying to show a new Mamamoo, and I don't know, it just feels like they're falling back into too much safe territory with this track. And again, her vocals on this are great. It's Solar. You're not gonna get bad vocals from Solar, but again, I really I wanted them to push themselves with the solo songs.
Yeah, I kind of felt like, as we've been saying, I felt this way about the whole album, really.
Yeah, it just felt.
But I did enjoy this.
I'd say that it's the safest of all the three mini albums that we've released or were released easily. So far.
Safe is the nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
Next we have Better Than I Thought. And this is a really minimalistic, like, acoustic R&B song. I really like the one thing. So this had a couple things that did actually stand out to me. I liked the vocal effect during the chorus. I thought that was really cool. And then Moonbyul's rap was really good.
Yeah, this is where I really started. These last two tracks are where I really started to enjoy this album. Just similar vibes between the two of them, but with Better Than I Thought, for the most part, I've gotten sick of the like electric guitar, like ballad track sort of thing, but I think it works well with Mamamoo just because the vocals are so good, so that it's impossible to get sick of something like this when it's Mamamoo doing the singing, so that's what really worked in his favor. And obviously anytime Moonbyul sings, I'm going to take that any day, honestly. I think that's probably why I didn't like Windflower as much as I did, because she barely did any singing in that track.
Yeah.
Like, she had like one line of singing, whereas this, she has way more.
Yep. And finally, we have Morning. So it's interesting that you said that you really started really liking the song with these last two albums, because I felt like this was just like their most generic, standard, ballady R&B Mamamoo song.
Oh, you didn't like Morning?
No, I mean, it was more of the same. Like, that's just kind of how I felt about this whole album. It was just kind of boring, like, because it was what Mamamoo does and nothing interesting, especially like you said, compared to the last two releases where they tried to do different things, and like, I think they did what did them well.
Yeah, well, in this case, it's comfort food that I don't hate. Again, it's just when if it was another group doing this, I probably wouldn't have liked it so much. But again, it just Mamamoo's vocals are just incredible with this really sort of sensual, like very minimalist R&B track. So I really love that part. And obviously, again, more Moonveil singing is to its benefit. That's basically all they need to do. They just need to release an entire album of Moonveil singing, and I will give it a 10 out of 10.
You'll be happy about it. Yeah.
Just because again, she was so criminally underutilized when she has some of the most beautiful vocals in all of Mamamoo, especially just like when I first heard Paint Me, I was like, holy crap, why were they not doing this before? Which is why I really appreciate it with these tracks. But yeah, again, just even this isn't really just pushing the boundary when it comes to Mamamoo. Again, obviously there's only so much you can do when it comes to this style of ballad, but that being said, I don't mind it necessarily just because everything else just didn't really appeal to me that as much as this did in retrospect.
Yeah.
This would probably be one of my favorite tracks, honestly, just because it's a really good Mamamoo ballad. And I don't know, I don't really feel like we've gotten one of those since Paint Me. And I mean, having those two are pretty awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so it's the full album. Jacob wasn't here to defend it, but he actually gave it a 9 out of 10, so he definitely liked it more than we did.
Yeah.
So take that for what you will. You can ask him his thoughts on Discord if you want.
On Twitter.
Or on Twitter, or on YouTube comments.
Actually, no, the only people that are talking to us on Twitter are going to be like, how dare you not like Mamamoo? I don't know.
Yep. And for me, I actually, like I said, I wasn't blown away by anything, and I don't know, I was just kind of bored from it. So I actually only gave it a 4 out of 6 for music, and a 2 out of 3 for concept, and which is kind of stretching it even.
Yeah, same.
And then a 1 out of 1. I didn't think it was a 6 out of 10, so that's why I gave him the 2 out of 3. But yeah, so it's just a 7 for me. Yeah,
I gave it the same score, and it just pains me. It really pains me to give them a 7 out of 10, just because, again, I feel like Mamamoo is deserving. Despite this, I think they're still deserving of probably it being one of the best girl groups of the year, just because of how amazing their output has been. And just like, I love the concept idea of just doing like seasons and having each member get a focus and everything. Just on that front, they're still worthy of note. But man, this really was... I don't know. I guess just that's the problem with trying to put out this many albums in the span of a year. Is just after a while, there's only so many times you can go to the well, I guess. It's like before you just start running out of ideas or just running out of just like good material to work with. I guess I'm definitely more of a quality over quantity guy, and I know that's kind of the opposite sort of thing where you have to come back literally like every like 3 months or else you're like not relevant in K-pop anymore. But it'd be nice if more groups maybe took their time, and maybe they could have still done this sort of seasonal or like member-focused concept. But I don't know, just come back with more good material, honestly, just because a lot of this just feel like filler. Or it feels like they're trying to fulfill... They're so hell-bent on trying to fulfill this concept of seasons and 4 mini albums that they're just putting in like okay songs, or just songs that you wouldn't necessarily try to lead with in terms of an album. So... Yeah, it really pains me to give them a 7 because I love this group so much. But yeah, they got to do better.
Yep. It actually comes out to an 8 with Jacob's score of a 9 because we give him 7.6 repeating.
Yeah, so
8 overall.
It doesn't get a shiny, but I mean it still gets an okay score. But yeah, I just hope they do better the next time round.
Yep, I agree. And finally, we're going to topic 4. This will probably be a somewhat short topic. But basically, we just wanted to discuss what the hell's happening with Pristin and our theories behind it.
It's tight. The title of this topic is literally "Where is Pristin?"
Yeah, where is Pristin?
It's Pristin. Where is Pristin? That's their new intro.
Instead of "We are Pristin."
Oh no!
Where is Pristin?
Oh, it hurts. It hurts. But okay, this is your topic basically because you're the Pristin fanboy.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I'm just gonna go. We're gonna go over I'll go over the timeline of Pristin existing, and then we'll figure out. Well, we won't figure it out, but
we won't figure it out. I don't think
talk about. No, nobody knows where they are. No, not at all. But yeah, basically, so 7 of the 10 of them went on Produce 101, Two of them made it to IOI, obviously. So then they did Pledis Girls while they were waiting for Kyokyung and Nayoung to finish IOI stuff. And they actually did they did a ton of covers. They did concerts weekly all through the summer.
Yeah, I remember they put up V-Live videos constantly.
Yeah, so they were they built up really popular.
Yeah,
they released We, which was their promotional single, a pre-debut single. And remember, they do production on all the stuff, all their songs.
Yep. Isn't that the joke with Nayoung being the president?
Yeah,
she's the president of Pledis or something like that.
So yeah, then they did. They announced Pristin in January 2017, and they debuted in March. They debuted on my birthday in March.
Yeah, which is the most
which was perfect.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, so they have Wee Woo, and they also did Black Widow, which was their second single.
And Wee Woo did amazing out of the gate.
Yeah,
right?
That's the thing. They were easily the biggest IOI branch group, out of the gate.
Yeah.
And the most consistent. And yeah, Wee Woo did great, and We Like did great too. And that We Like came out in
towards the latter half of 2017, if
August.
Yeah,
it was March and August.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they both did really fantastic. So then March to August is pretty normal amount of time.
Normal comeback, yeah.
Comebacks, yeah, exactly. So there was nothing out of the ordinary there. And then October is when Kyla decided she was taking a hiatus and went back to the US. And we haven't heard about her since.
Well, I mean, outside of her randomly...
Outside of her brother randomly posts about her and...
saying that she's
random
never
people
and she says and her brother says that she's never going back to Korea, she's done with it. And then somebody saw her working at a carnival. Where does she live again?
I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, but somebody went to a carnival sort of thing in the United States and saw her working at the booths.
A state fair or something.
Yeah,
and saw her working at one. Yeah, I don't know. It's all over the place. Basically, I'm 99% sure Kyla's out.
She's done. She's done.
They haven't even. But they just haven't said that for some reason.
Yeah, between all of FYI, she probably working a state fair or a carnival sort of attraction. That's probably more stable income than you would make as a as sad as that sounds. That's probably a more stable job than being an idol. In all honesty, so I mean. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, it seemed between all of the hate that she was getting, she's oh my god, she's too big and all that stuff. She's better off. She's better off just staying here, honestly, because people in Korea are fucking nuts.
She was 15, and
they're she's too fat. I'm just yo.
Yeah, because she wasn't
15.
She wasn't super skinny like everyone else in the idol industry.
Yeah, not everyone could be freaking Kulkyung. Not everyone can be exactly. Perfect, straight up model doll figure sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's fine. She was fine. It's just a bunch of stupid antis.
People are assholes.
Yeah, it sucks. And it sucks that was her. It's because if you really think about it, that's her dream. That she probably wanted to be an idol so bad and everything. And
yeah,
and that's always the sad situation is when people end up like that. Is just that they literally had their dreams shattered because people didn't accept them or just didn't want them there, unfortunately. And yeah, I mean, her dream was probably just to do music like that and everything, and now she has to hide here in the U.S.
Yeah, basically, it's a mess, and no one really knows what's going on. But yeah, it's pretty clear. I mean, it's been over a year now since they've talked about her taking a break. And yeah, all the random stuff coming out from her brother.
Have they made any? Did Pristin make any appearances in 2018? Just not as Pristin V, just even as the full group.
I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. So then in May this year, Pristin had a subunit, Pristin V, which released the best song of the year. Get it? But yeah, and then we haven't heard anything from them since they ended promotions. So nobody has any idea what's going on with them. They haven't had a full release in over a year.
How about like social media or like SNS, or like do any of them have their own like Instagram accounts or whatever? Or
I don't really follow it too much. I'm pretty sure they've posted on Instagram.
Okay, so they're alive.
Or on the official Instagram.
I could look that up right now. Actually.
Yeah, I'm checking. Yeah, like Sheon posted in November. Like they for birthdays and stuff. Well, actually.
Okay, they're posting like a lot of
second
on November 14th. I see like
yeah, but before that it was just birthday posts for 4 of the members since July.
Oh my god!
Like yeah, they really aren't posting too much. Just random birthday promotional pictures. Yeah,
just like before that, it's July. It was just like a bunch of like these. I don't know. This must be a CF or something. Yeah, it's just like it's just Pristin V doing stuff and just like birthday posts.
Yeah, there really
like,
hasn't been anything.
Okay, I'm gonna scroll through this. Okay, the last time they were in the studio was in April for Pristin V. Like, yeah. Otherwise, it's just nothing. No tours, no concerts, no nothing. Like that's sad.
And I mean, they might have had stuff, but yeah, I have no idea. And then literally like this week or last week, like
what sort of brought about this topic? I have the image up right now.
Yeah. So yeah, like a bunch of Pristin fans like covered, covered
the
Pledis
entrance
with sticky notes or something.
Yeah. It's basically just a bunch of like letters, like straight up like strongly worded like letters. Like it's like a freaking like ultimatum or whatever. It's like a list of demands of what they want from Pledis. So yeah, it's just all over the walls, all over like the windows and everything, all over the entrance. Basically, nobody could go inside or outside of the Pledis building without seeing that.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if it got taken down or anything, or
I'm sure they got taken out eventually, but
yeah, because that's embarrassing. But man, that's like, again, there's dedication there. There's a fan base that has not seen this group come back in an entire calendar year. And if you know anything about K-pop, being gone for an entire calendar year is like the death sentence, basically. If you're gone for more than that, like you might as well never come back because nobody's gonna know who you are. There's just K-pop just moves at such a fast rate that being gone for more than 6 months even is just it's too long. With the way things are. So I don't know. I guess we could just talk about like what do you think is gonna happen? What do you want? Obviously, what you want to happen is you want them to come back with a full album or something like that.
Exactly. Like,
at this point, I take a digital single. I take anything, just like a sign of life, honestly. Just like I take a CF or just like a freaking OST song. Just show me that Pristin is still here. Because there's no excuse. There's literally no excuse as to why they haven't released anything. Like
they were super popular.
Yeah, they're super popular. They have a huge fan base. They have Nayoung and Kill. Like Nayoung's super popular. Like just on her own.
So we have gotten a couple of V Lives. But they are also for birthdays.
Oh god! So it kind of feels like if they're on camera, it's like they're being held hostage. Where I'm sure all of the comments are like, "When are you coming back? When are you coming back? When are you coming back?" And I feel like this situation is in fact worse than what we're dealing with CLC, because at least CLC they're sort of making an indication that they're coming back soon, whereas Pristin we've got nothing whatsoever.
We have no idea what's going on,
and there's no excuse on Pledis' part because 17 has received multiple comebacks, both in Korea and Japan. New SW, same thing, multiple comebacks. Mm-hmm. Like Pledis doesn't have that many groups to like put all their chips on, and I know 17 is just like their bread and butter at this point, but
yeah, I don't know, it's dumb. They were easily my favorite like IOI branch group. Their music, in my opinion, was easily the best. I mean, I think Get It and Black Widow are the top two like IOI branch singles, which we went over, and I really like Wee Woo and We Like a lot too. I mean, I think they'll come back eventually. I don't think they're dead. But it's just it's weird that it's been so long, and considering how popular they were.
Yeah.
It wasn't like that they got no fans and Pledis was like, well, this is a wash, let's just end the group. They had magnitudes of views more than Gugudan, and Gugudan's getting like releases every 3 months.
Yeah.
They need to do that because they need to build up fans. But you can't sit on a group for over a year and not release anything. They're going to lose their fan base.
And it's not they have the fan base. It's not like a newest situation where they're like, we can't get, they're not doing that well, let's put them on Produce 101. Yeah. Or it's not like they're like, we're not doing anything with After School, let's put Gan on Produce 48. Like, I don't think, I know Pledis is kind of like crappy, but I don't think even Pledis would have the balls to be like, Pristin's not doing well, let's throw them on the next season of Produce 101. Like, that takes them.
Not happening.
Yeah, there's no way they do that again. But
this is a group that won multiple like rookie girl group awards.
Yeah, if you saw Mama, like they won a lot of awards. They didn't release
anything in 2018 as a full group.
I can't think of any groups that ever.
I don't understand.
I don't. Again, we've only been following K-pop for the past like 7 years or so, but to my knowledge, To my knowledge, I don't think I've ever seen a situation where a group was literally at the top of the world and then just disappeared like this. I mean, you see it, at least with girl groups, because you see it a lot with like guy groups or whatever, because obviously with enlistment or like that sort of thing, like they eventually have they fall off for a while. But at least with girl groups, you can always promote. There's nothing holding you back except like scandals or just incompetence. But
nothing's happened. I mean, Kyla, you could say, is a scandal, but that wasn't killing the group. That was just one member that
left.
Is possibly gone. Like, so yeah, it baffles me.
I don't know, and maybe at this point, it's just it just seems like Pledis is just incapable of juggling more than one group at once. Because I'm kind of like my worry is kind of.
Well, they've always kind of been that way.
Yeah, because I mean, like After School, like
they had After School, and New West kind of just didn't ever.
They didn't do anything.
Nothing ever happened with them, and then 17 got big, and they threw After School away, and like
New West.
they and like they tried with Pristin, but maybe it's the same boat. Like, they're still not able to handle. You'd think with how much money 17 makes, like how big they are, they'd be able to expand and like handle multiple groups now. But they're still literally just focusing on 17.
Yeah, it just seems like
they've put resources into New SW, so maybe now they're finally able to handle two groups. And it's 17 and Newest, like,
I honestly,
and so Pristin gets thrown away.
Even with the success of Newest and like Kwang Min-yeon coming back in once they like reform the full group, I'm not sure of how, because the second, like, if they're not doing well immediately, I would not be surprised if they just drop them like a rock, because like, again, 17 is just their moneymaker at this point. And the thing is that you can't, like, Pledis won't survive off of 17's gonna fall off the cliff after. It's only natural that once the next generation comes in, like they can't just rely on, like, 17's a popular group, but they're not on the level of like a BTS or an EXO where there's just like they're immortal at this point. Like 17 they will peak and they will naturally regress after a certain point. So Pledis needs some type of plan. And obviously, again, it's not like I mean, maybe they will, but you can't have you can't have 17 like make a comeback every month. It's just like, we're fine that way. It's like you're gonna need something to do. You're gonna need something to fill in the gaps when either New West or 17 aren't releasing music. And there are gonna be those gaps. Like, again, they literally, like, it's funny. The list of artists that have left Pledis is bigger than the list of artists that are actually contracted under Pledis right now. Yeah, it's kind of sad, but yeah, they really need to get it together, or else, like, literally for 17's sake, especially. Like, I know they'll be fine, but if they have all these groups that aren't doing anything, that means they're losing money because they're still paying them. These are still contracted employees. Like, even if they're not releasing anything outside of a subunit, they're still getting paid. They still have to pay for the living expenses and all that sort of stuff.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're still an asset that they're not like, literally, like, that's a sign of bad business. Like if you're a business, if you have an asset, you're going to want to get the most out of it. Like
Yeah.
them not doing anything is just, it's bad management. And from everything that I've seen between them throwing New West on Produce 48 or Produce 101, them throwing Gone on Produce 48, like there's just it's just a headless chicken at the helm of Pledis at this point. And I don't think that's an unpopular sentiment from what I've seen.
Yeah, it seems like it.
So definitely let us know what you'll think, what you think of this situation. Let us know if you, particularly if you care about Pristin coming back, or when do you think they'll come back, or what your thoughts are on just Pledis as a whole, because we're definitely not the only ones in this conversation. So definitely let us know in the comments.
Yep. And that's it for episode 99 of the DaebakCast. So that means next week is episode 100, which is ridiculous. Insane that we've been doing this for 99 weeks. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's even with some breaks.
With some breaks into, like one or two, but
yeah. So
this is crazy.
Almost 2 years. January 5th will be our 2-year anniversary.
Yeah, which is insane.
So yeah. Thanks for listening. If you like this, subscribe, share, follow us on social media, join the Discord.
Definitely. That if you want to get in contact with us, Discord's probably the easiest way, just because I do that instead of working. Yeah. It's addicting after a certain point. It's just like trying to keep up with all the different channels or whatever. Yeah, if you just want to see what we do, like outside of running a YouTube channel, or just
it's not just K-pop in there. Like there's a gaming channel and movies and
sports,
non-K-pop music and sports. Sports is like the only one I've muted, just like Cooper.
It's just like me. It's just like me, Suyu, and Mighty Egg Girl just talking about MMA and wrestling and all this sort of stuff. And like Flixer comes in when we talk about, and Chris come in when we talk about soccer and football and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So and NBA.
But there's a decent amount of people. We got probably 20 people in there now.
Oh yeah, we have a decent Discord. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. So that's probably the best idea we've thought of all year.
yeah, definitely.
So definitely, if you want in on the fun, join our Discord.
Yep, definitely. That's the best.
In terms of future events, besides episode 100, we're still on the docket. We still definitely have something with Umu coming up. We'll try to see what scheduling is with that. We're going to try to get that in. We plan on taking a break for Christmas.
The week of Christmas.
Yeah.
So something will release that week, but we won't record that week.
Yeah, we won't record that week. Yeah, we'll record the week after. So we'll try to get that figured out. But definitely look forward to that. And as always, if you have any suggestions, if you have any ideas, any comments, or any improvements that we might make, definitely let us know either on Twitter @Daebak. You can reach us on our Discord, or just leave it in the comments. Definitely, we're always looking to improve.
Yep. And that's it. Go for it.
Stay missing.
Throbbingly missing.
Oh, where's Pristin?
Where Bring them back. Pristin? Anyang. Wait, Anyang doesn't work though.
Goodbye.
Anyang. Next we have Celeb 5's digital single Shutter featuring Lee Duck-hwa. And I just why are comedic songs so good? They're just always so good in K-pop.
Lee Duck-hwa
all the shows from Infinite Challenge and stuff are just amazing.
Lee Duck-hwa's intro is amazing.